Just see what happens. If we need to switch around the host, then
We'll figure
I'm
it
going to
out.
go into my settings while you're talking. So, anyways,
Okay.
good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session, Digital Welcome Mat, building a landing page with Josie LaChance from Rostern, Saskatchewan. Um, we're really happy to be here. Josie has been offering this digital series, and we are now on number 5 of 6. And so all of the other ones are recorded and saved onto our YouTube channel, and I will email you out after with the link to to all the training. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place. I just wanted to share that these training sessions are funded through Beaver River Community Futures as we have a new partnership with NACA. NACA is a federal organization, and we are holding um, two new programs, which are the Indigenous Youth Entrepreneurship Micro Loan Program and the Indigenous Women Micro Loan Program. And I will also send the links out to those programs following this workshop. So with that being said, welcome Josie, and we will get started.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Jessica, for the warm welcome. I'm happy to be back and doing a webinar today. If you want to pop in the chat your name, your business, or organization that you're representing, and maybe what you're looking to get out of this session or anything as we go, you can definitely put that all in the chat, and Jessica can monitor the chat and let us know any questions or anything that comes up. But yeah, I wanted to do a session today on the digital welcome mat, building a landing page. And so my goal with this session is to reduce overwhelm, build confidence, show you that this is doable, and hopefully you'll be able to walk away thinking like I could actually do this weekend. And and yeah, so that's kind of my goal for today's session. Just a quick little table of contents. I'm just going to talk about a few different things, why being online matters, what is a landing page, comparing a landing page to a website, cost versus your return on investment. We'll go through a couple landing page examples. I'm hoping there will be enough time to just kind of create a landing page, very, very basic one. Give you some ideas or platforms where you can create these pages, and then also just talk about managing your expectations with the landing pages. So that's kind of the layout for today. So as Jess said, yeah, my name is Josie LaChance. I'm located out in Rostern, Saskatchewan. I've been helping small businesses for many years, building and updating websites, managing social media, creating content, and bringing brands to life through logos and marketing materials. Basically, just helping small businesses wherever they need, and helping business owners make sense of the changing online world, which we're all a part of and kind of aware that it changes fast. I'm a small business owner myself here, and so I can easily relate to a lot of the struggles that we have as entrepreneurs when we're facing the online world. And so I'm hoping to just kind of make it feel less overwhelming, make it feel doable, because I know as entrepreneurs and business owners, we have a lot on our plate already. So that's just a little bit about me, but we'll just get going. Why being online matters. And so this, when I'm talking about this is more so further, taking it further than the socials, taking it further than being on Instagram and Facebook. So most first impressions happen online nowadays. So before they ever call you or they visit you or message you, people are judging, are you legit, are you active, are you professional, and they're getting that off of your online platform. So it probably is a combination of your Facebook, your Instagram, your Google business page, and if you have like a website or a landing page. So Yeah, I like to think of it as not being online today is like having a store with no sign, no hours posted, and no way to contact you. So if we can kind of take little steps to increase our online presence, it can go a long way for our business. So another thing to think about is a customer hears about you, they Google you, and they find nothing, so they choose someone else. So how can we make them choose you when they are Googling your business? Let's give them all the information we can. Let's make it accurate. Let's make it complete so that they choose you and not go to someone else because you don't have an online presence. So just kind of want to touch base here on what a landing page is. And so it's not a full website. It's just one focus page, a single website, a single page. It's usually built for one specific goal. And it's designed to turn visitors into customers. So just kind of helping them take that next step. This is a good step one for you for growing your digital footprint because it's beyond social media. So it gives you something that's a www.com that people can go to that's beyond social media. So if someone isn't on Facebook or they aren't on Instagram, how are they finding you? Even a simple landing page can instantly build trust, make you look established, and separate you from competitors. Think of it as a good place to start and consider them to be like a business card or a salesperson for your business. So we're not talking about a whole bunch of information. We're just using this for a single purpose. And how can we use it to promote our business? And so that's how I like to think about it as a salesperson for your business. You are giving people another way to find out more. Think about it as if you run into someone out on the street and you're trying to explain all of the things that you offer in a trying to get that all out there. This could give you a place to say, hey, go here and check that out. Or if you are very active on social media, people are DMing you, sending you a private message, you can send them this link instead of trying to overwhelm their inbox with all the services and products and things that you offer, upcoming events. It just kind of gives them a place to further expand their knowledge about your business and see what you offer. So it really works best when you just try to focus on one goal. So what is it that you are looking for? And small business owners, we tend to kind of skip this step, and it's actually very, very important because if you're putting the time in to build this landing page, you want to make sure it's going to work for what you want it to work for. So if you want to get more quote requests, then let's set that up so it shows all of the services that you offer. Let's give them an easy way to email you to get a quote. Let's set it up in that way. So that would be the focus. If you are, there's some here that I listed, like if you want more calls or more walk-ins, more bookings, grow your email list. Other things would be if you have like tickets that you want to sell or products you want to promote or an event that you want to promote, you can easily pop up a landing page, have that go for the duration of time, and then take it down. So just something that's really important that's like your starting point of building your landing page, but also knowing if the landing page is going to work for you. Because if these kind of don't resonate with you, then maybe a landing page isn't something that you need right away, or you might look into kind of other options. So I just want to kind of reiterate, websites are not bad, and there will most likely be a time where you will need to have a website. This is simply just giving you a starting point as a landing page and to kind of be viewed as step one and a website as step two. So a landing page usually has one goal. It's fast to build. costs practically nothing, and it's great for beginners. It's something you as a business owner can do by yourself. Whereas a website, it has many goals, it's time consuming, you're putting all of your business information out there, and it's going to cost you more, and it's usually outsourced. It's not something that a lot of people manage themselves because websites are very time consuming. So that's kind of the difference between the two when we're talking about landing page and a website. To talk about the cost versus your return of investment, to recap, it's your when you build a full website, you're investing time and you're investing money, and then you have to maintain that. And that's something that it's a commitment. It's like a long-term commitment. Whereas your landing page, it's cheap, it's fast, and it's focused. So it's something you can just, like I said at the beginning, I think I said, I want, you to feel like you could build a landing page on the weekend and launch it. So you could start right now for under $50. You could have it live by the end of the day, and you could have your first leads within days. So even the cost of $50, like, you could actually do a landing page for free. I'll talk a little bit more maybe about the cost as we go, but sometimes platforms do have a fee. So you can find free platforms, but you can find platforms that are just, cost a couple dollars. The thing that most people will invest in is just the domain, so that it makes it easier, so that you don't have a domain that's mybusiness.canva.1274.ho, like, just something that's easier to kind of relate. So this does matter a lot for small businesses because we don't always have the time and the money to invest in these things. What we're doing here is trying to avoid a cluttered and confusing website and trying to create a simple and clear landing page. So too many choices or one clear action and confusing messaging to a clear value. So that's kind of what we're comparing to website to landing page here. So it's kind of like the clearest way to put it. So I don't know if there's anything in the chat because I cannot monitor the chat from here, but
there's just one,
nope.
just Shelley Secord from Dauphin, Manitoba, and they have a corn maze.
Oh, amazing. That's so fun. So, okay, great. I'm going to just pop over into two different examples here. So let's see if this works properly. This first one that we're going to do is an example that's built through Mailchimp. And just as we're going through, just feel free to take note of anything. And if you have any questions, let me know. But this should work. Can you see? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an example of a landing page. Up here, you'll see this is the domain I was talking about. So this is where people will invest the money, so that it would say wildcountrytours.com instead of Mailchimp /numbers/words. What you notice upon going on to this landing page is that there's no navigation, there's no drop down menu, there's no search bar. It's just very clean and simple. A quick scroll will show you that this is the entire page. So that's it. It's not a big commitment. It looks like this company is using this to sort of direct people to tours offered. So they're asking you to just email with your first and last name, and they're saying we'll get back to you within 48 hours. And you hit send inquiry and it sends. It shows you down here, these are the tours that they offer all across Saskatchewan. And they've got them linked so that it can bring you to more information about those parks. They've got real images, not cheesy stock photos. They've got images that make it look like These are real places that you're going to go. And then they have their socials to give them a follow. So it can be as simple as that. And their goal here is that, maybe they don't need to invest in a full website because maybe they're busy enough kind of already, but they still need a place to direct people to show what they offer so that people can pick the tour. And again, using this as the digital business card, because you can run into someone and say, oh yeah, just go to wildcountry.com and you can send us an email that way. And sometimes that's just easier to use verbally, but also on social media, just kind of an easier way to direct people here to email you. I would say maybe what's missing here is that they might want to have like a little message box that would say, we're interested in tour of Meadow Lake Provincial Park, just so that maybe that kind of helps get more information right off the start. But it can be as simple as that. And I'm telling you, this probably took 15 minutes. So very, very simple, something that everyone definitely would be capable of doing. I'm going to now show you an example of a landing page that's built through Canva. So this one here is Flair Beauty, and you can see just health and beauty for everything, or for everybody, sorry. They've got their name, their slogan, and it looks like they're directing you to kind of book now. So they're using this as their salesperson or their business card or their portfolio to show you sort of what their business is about, what they offer, and a place that they can host some testimonials from customers and the contact information. So again, very simple, very straight to the point, very clean. You can tell here that they're using this to direct people to not only book, but just kind of give them a little bit more detail about what they're providing. And the testimonial part, I think, is always a great aspect of any website or landing page, or to use on social media. It just helps to build the trust and to people to trust your brand or your business. It kind of brings life to it. It shows that you're active, that you're working, that people are coming in there and having a good experience. So this is just kind of that example. And then probably what's going to happen here is if you hit book now, that's going to bring you to a third party booking system. So maybe they use, I know, like for massage therapists or lots of people in sort of that health and wellness industry, physiotherapists, they use the Jane booking service. So maybe that brings you to the Jane page. And this is just something a little bit more like, yes, you could on your third party booking sites have all of that information there, and you should still have all of that. This is just more of a visual, something that you can create and not always used for booking. It can definitely be if you have that third party booking site. Maybe you're already feeling like that's enough and you don't need anything else. But just kind of showing that you can use it in multiple ways. So yeah, very clean, very, very crisp, not overloaded with information, very simple, and to the point. And again, they have all their contact information and their socials and everything there. So
There is just one question here, Josie.
Oh,
Rochelle was
yep.
just asking if you'll provide a list of sites that can be used to develop a landing page. And I think as far as we've talked about, Canva and Mailchimp are probably the easiest two to navigate. Would you say?
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. And I do have a slide on this at the end. So
Perfect.
we can definitely chat about that there. These two for sure. The reason I chose MailChimp and Canva, and again, I'll probably say this exact same thing again at the end, but these are the ones that are popular, I would say, amongst like small rural businesses. They're often free or very, very low cost and allows you to do multiple things. But it also comes down to just preference. Like, what are you already using for platforms? And kind of staying in those wheelhouses if you're comfortable with those platforms. So, um, to create a successful landing page, as we just saw, we're looking at real photos. We are maybe adding a couple of reviews or testimonials. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can just be, it doesn't have to include their pictures like that one did, which is a nice touch, but it can just include a couple of reviews if you have them, making sure your contact information is crystal clear, updated, perfect. If they click the phone number, is it going to dial on their phone? If they click the Facebook button, is it going to link you directly to your business Facebook? Making sure all of those things are clean and no broken links. Um, Again, consistency and yeah, basic professionalism, making sure those links aren't broken, making sure there's no typos. Um, oops, yeah. Basically, people decide in seconds if they, when visiting your page, if they are going to trust you, if they're going to book with you, or refer you, or anything like that. So that's something to think about in the first couple of seconds of people visiting that page. What is their impression? And something that's always good is if you have employees or maybe a couple other business friends that you have, um, maybe just getting them to kind of do a once over on your landing page that you've created just to see if they have any feedback. Because sometimes I can look at a document so many times and not see a typo, and other people will pick it up in an instant. So basically, to get started, you need to just have your business name, what you offer, photos, even if they're just photos from your phone, that's totally fine. They don't need to be professional photos. The contact info and a simple offer or your kind of your goal, your defined goal that we talked about at the beginning. So even if you're just starting out and you haven't really spent too much time um, on the digital end of your business, this is just a very easy way to start. So you don't need much. These 5 things, have them ready, and kind of get going. So I'm just going to pop over into MailChimp here. So now we've got what we've needed. Oh, we've kind of defined what we've needed. And I think we have enough time. We're going to try to, I'm just going to try to go over into MailChimp and kind of show you how simple it really is to build a landing page. The goal with this is just to, again, make it feel doable and not intimidating. So if you have any questions while we're going through, just let me know and I can hopefully answer them. So give me 1 second here. So I'm in MailChimp right now, and basically I'm not going to go through all the ins and outs of MailChimp because I know everyone's going to be using something different. Um, but I'm going to go create a campaign, and you'll see over on the left-hand side, it says landing page. And I'm just going to do test 1, 2, 3 for this. And I'm going to hit begin. So Here, which is pretty common for most platforms, once you've started this process, it'll give you a couple templates to choose from. So Canva, I would say, gives you a million more templates than this, but this is very simple. So if we go into, let's just pick sort of any one here. This is sort of what you're going to see if you're using MailChimp. You're going to see their template here that they've created with photos and things involved, or things about their business story is what I meant to say. But say we're going to use this, we want to maybe grow our email list, and we want to maybe provide a little bit of detail about what services we offer. So because I don't want to spend too much time like putting photos in and doing that stuff, for this purpose, we're just going to say that we're a plant shop, because this is mostly, they have like plants already in here. So I'm just going to use that as my example. So again, you can easily click in here. You can change what you want it to say. Maybe we want it to, because we want people to sign up for our e-news or our email list, we want to maybe keep it along these lines. So maybe we're just going to say, or deals directly to your inbox. And we'll just say subscribe below. And get 15% off your first order. First, we'll say in-store, because we don't have a shop maybe online. So we can do that. And then we've changed the title, we've changed the sort of subheading. The email address is in here. This is something that this part might take a little bit of time if you're not used to using MailChimp or the platform that you are starting your landing page in. But again, if we're using a template, it's as simple as, even here, if I wanted to show you the photo, if I just click the photo, give me a second to find that. Okay, so you can see here down at the bottom, it shows image. So I can just click image and pick a different image that I have, or upload a different image. Oh, go back and see if it saved my, yeah. So super easy to just change out your image. Again, even with email address, you can change it so we can have first and last name, and maybe we want their birthday because maybe we are a business that sends out a promotion on their birthday. And then we can also keep scrolling down here, and we can say, maybe we don't like the word subscribe. Maybe we want it to be a little bit more friendly, like join our email list. And yeah, you can get more detailed than this. I'm just trying to be very basic to show you how easy it can be. You can make it so the confirmation message that pops up is something different than their automatic. Like because we said they're going to get 15% off, we can just say, success, you've been added to our email list, and your 15% off coupon will arrive in your inbox shortly. So again, super easy to kind of customize those little things if you want to, and save and close. The nice thing about using MailChimp or something like this, if you are looking to grow an email list, you can do that. And then you can also set up for this to go further. I don't want to make it complicated or confusing, but then you can have it so that when that person signs up to join your email list, that then MailChimp is sending them an email automatically with that 15% off coupon. So it's not really creating a lot more work for you. So it depends on how you want to do it. Depends on how many people start emailing, but as a small business, you might just want to email them personally and say, hey, thanks for doing that. Next time you come in, just give me your name and I'll, so it can be simple. I don't want to have these logos here. I don't need this here. So I'm just going to delete. It's as easy as that. Maybe we do have a few customer reviews. So we're going to leave the customer reviews. But maybe we don't like that it's right here. So maybe we're going to kind of move. Maybe we want to list our products. Maybe this is going to be our one that we're going to use. So you'll see this 4-point arrow. You can just kind of drag it up. And we're going to drag it up to the top. Oops. Do that again. And I'm actually going to, actually cancel. Sorry, this is, okay, give me 1 second here. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to see if I wanted to remove that. There we go. Because I just deleted those logos from there and I want to kind of delete that content box. So that's why it's not happening. Sometimes, again, this is with the free platforms, maybe might only allow you to do sort of certain things. Maybe we don't even need this part. I'm just kind of deleting things that we don't need. There's just some kind of filler blocks in here. I don't necessarily need them. So maybe I'm just going to change this to say sort of what we offer. And then I'm going to just list my offerings. If you want to do it in paragraph form or bullets, you can say, maybe we offer fresh flowers, potted plants, all things plant related, whatever it is. We can just save and close that, and then we have that here. The other thing we can do is if we don't like something, again, right, we can just kind of delete it out. But yeah, so this is great. We can just change these in here and say our favorite place in town to get fresh flowers. And maybe Matt B is saying the potted plants are always great and last longer in my house than any other plants. Because we all know keeping house plants is not always alive. It's not always easy. And there you go. So again, here they're just reiterating to subscribe to their email list, but maybe we just want to change this to see if I can do it here. Maybe we want this to be follow us on Facebook. So then we're going to change that. We're going to keep it as a web address, and then we're going to let's see, save and close. if we had the right web address, we would just add it in here, but we'll just, add facebook.com. So yeah, so that's kind of, again, very simple. You can see the only thing that we haven't really done is added in anything about our plant shop. So we've missed a whole section about adding in our contact information. So maybe we're going to do that here. We're just going to grab a text box and drop it in here.
Can I just read a question to you, Josie?
Yeah, for sure.
So Rochelle said, if I have already reserved a web domain but don't have anything on it yet, I
Mm-hmm.
could use Canva or Mailchimp to get started? Question mark.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any recommendation on adding some security, or is that necessary for a landing page versus a website?
Yeah, so definitely with the domain, that's what I actually suggest. So when we're talking about the cost of $50 or less, I'm saying I think a domain on average costs about $30 for 1 year, maybe even 2 years. Sometimes when you purchase your domain for the first time, you sign up and you get it for 2 years. It's just a better deal. And then use that domain. Absolutely. I think that makes it easy. It's such a low cost, especially if you're using like a free platform. And you just go punch in your domain and use it that way. The second question, for security for a landing page, personally, I don't think it's necessary. Um, you could probably do a little bit of research to see sort of like whichever platform you're using, if there's anything you can do to add more into that. Um, I know some sites are worse than others for sort of like the spam emails and stuff. So I think it just depends on the platform and something you could probably just figure out with like a simple Google search. For a website, definitely, but for a landing page, I think it's so minimal that I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe if you started seeing like an influx of spam in your mailbox, that would be good. Um, So I'm just finishing up the contact us here. We're the plant shop and we are located at 1231. Maybe we're in Meadow Lake. We've got our oops, plant shop at gmail.com. Oops, sorry. And then our phone number. And yeah, you could pretty much leave it as that. You could do, actually, I think that's right here. So yeah, so you could have that, and then we can actually just kind of maybe bump this up in size so it's pretty evident. Oh, I'm going to bigger. Yeah, maybe we want this bolded right there. So I can hit save and close on that. Again, you can, if you are using a platform that you already had set up, you can kind of just like drop in any of these social things, but you can also just change them as you go. But since we did say we're only on Facebook, so we've got this one here. So there we go. So we've kind of got, we had defined our goals. We said we want people to sign up for our email list. We're giving them a discount, 15% off in store, and maybe free gift on your birthday. So people understand why we're asking them for their birthday. We've got a couple testimonials. We've got what we offer. We've got our contact information and then a little follow us on Facebook. So I can just go here and I can hit, let's just hit preview. here's what it's going to look like. Here's what people are going to see when they go to your landing page on online. As simple as that. We didn't really change a lot of that. We did that in 10 minutes. So I'm confident that if you did want to do something like this, using something already available, like if you're not too picky about the sort of template that they have, you could probably update the information and do that. And it would take you, maybe an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Yeah. So you can also see what it would look like on mobile, which is very important because most people are accessing from their mobile. Again, very clean, very crisp. You can see what we have to offer. And yeah. So on this one, for example, if I were to hit save and close, it will bring me to here. If I wanted to say publish up here in the corner, I could do that. You can go in here and edit your page title, which I totally suggest doing because it's going to help you be a little bit more searchable. So I'm going to go plant shop. I think this one was garden house plant shop, and then maybe we're going to say Meadow Lake in there. You can also include a little icon. So if you have a logo, you can put that there, or maybe you just want to put a plant picture. What that's going to do is just like up here on our browser where it shows the little MailChimp yellow square, or like the Zoom, like those little buttons, it's going to make your site have a little button. And here's where we can reflect back to that question that was asked. If you want to edit this, you can do that. The reason why it's not going to allow me to edit it is because I already have used my one free landing page for this site, for this profile. So I can't actually change it, right? Or maybe I can actually. Okay, yeah, there we go. I can edit your URL and I can put connect a domain. So you can definitely do that, which is what I would prefer and recommend. I think it will be the most successful. Then that way, if you do make business cards or if you are creating promotional material and you always have your www.gardenhouse.com, that's not going to change. So whether it's a landing page or whether you eventually turn it over into a website, maybe this again is your first step. You know you're working on a website, but it's going to take time. Sometimes websites take months, half a year. You just want to pop something up. So this is a good way to do that. And then you don't have to kind of redo the work or the marketing materials that have the wonky URL. And people aren't going to punch this in. Let's be honest. Like if you see this on a brochure, you're not going to pick up your phone and go type all that in. I don't know why we're like this. This is just who we are. But so we can hit publish, and then that would make this site live. Yeah. So I like to say as simple as that. I know it's not always as simple as that. I know it's still a little bit of a learning curve, which is kind of why, if we go to the next slide here, talking about suggestions, these would be sort of like the easiest, the best free options, best for maybe like booking services. But again, this comes down to personal preference, really. Like if you already are using a platform, I totally suggest just sticking with that platform unless you're wanting to expand. Like I'm not sure because I haven't quite ventured out into Canva this way. So I'm not sure how it works with having people subscribe to an email list and what that all looks like. But like I know for certain with MailChimp or those, I think there's like Constant Contact or there's lots of other ones. They create those lists for you and it's very easy to sort of manage and see. So that's just something that I'm not too sure how that works with Canva. I put some stars beside Squarespace because I think Squarespace is a great place to build a landing page. It's also very user friendly for you if you are eventually planning on sort of taking bookings or selling products. So lots of people that I have, other businesses that I have worked with before, we've started out with just making a landing page on Squarespace and then grew it into a website very, very easily. But Squarespace allows you to sort of take payments directly through the site and set up to have people like sign up for a class or purchase a product, and it takes the payment on there, and there's a whole back end, of course, for all of that stuff. That's a whole different thing. But if you are eventually planning on using Squarespace and having, sometimes it's easy platform for taking payments on phones. If you're a vendor that goes to markets or likes to be, your mobile, that's something to consider. Maybe look into that platform. It's just a little bit more of a learning curve, I would say, than Mailchimp. Mailchimp is definitely going to be the easiest platform to start with because they don't have a lot of templates. So you pick one of those templates, you adjust it, and you kind of make it work. Canva has tons of templates with so much you can change. So if you're comfortable with Canva, then it's great as well. So that's kind of yeah, those are my suggestions for landing page. Wix is another one, mostly because Wix is a common one for people to then turn to when they want to build a website. So the other thing about Wix and Square, I don't think that they are free. And I'm not sure with the Canva, with the free profile, what you're all capable of. I know with the paid, like the paid Canva, you can do it for sure. So just to kind of like a refresher to like avoid when you're creating your landing page is avoid using too much text. Let's just keep it simple. Let's not use stock images. Even if you have photos from your phone, that's better than using the stock images. Or if you have to just go take a few photos with your phone, it just brings a little bit more life, a little bit more trust, and yeah, not having a clear call to action, or maybe you have too many call to actions. So definitely just kind of keep it down to the one or maybe two things that people are doing on your landing page. You don't want to have them to like go down and through everything. They're having to like punch in their email or things like that. I really think that keeping it, when we're talking about using too much text, this one kind of relates, but just keeping it simple and not using so much industry jargon that no one really understands. This is for your potential customer. You'd want them to understand what you're doing. This isn't for colleagues or other people. This is for gaining new customers. So let's make it really easy for them to kind of understand what it is that we're offering, what it is that our business does. If you don't have contact info on there, it kind of defeats the purpose of it being your virtual or your online business card. So having your contact info on there and not mobile friendly. I think most of the sites like Canva and Mailchimp that we use, we even saw in the example, you can flip to see the mobile view. Both of those are very mobile friendly. So it shouldn't really be too much of a concern there. So now
There's
you're
just
thinking, okay, yep,
sorry, there's
go ahead.
just
No,
two comments.
okay.
Shelley was just saying she was on Squarespace but found it expensive. And then she also
Mhm.
said Wix, you can get it half price on certain days of the week.
Right. Yeah, Wix actually, they always are offering 50% off or whatever. So I definitely recommend kind of holding out for one of those days. Squarespace, that's kind of why I put the asterisk beside it. It's not a free platform, but if it's something that you're eventually wanting to sell and use for booking, um, it might be something to consider spending the time to get used to kind of how it is. We'll be diving actually into Squarespace a little bit in the next webinar that we're doing on April 1st. That's the last one of this series. But it really is a great platform, but it is kind of confusing and really can be hard to understand. So sometimes if you start out with something simple like this, hey, we're just creating a landing page, that's getting me used to this platform, and I can understand this platform now just a little bit more because I've used it for the landing page, and now I'm getting more confident to grow in that direction. But if you don't need to sell products online or have people book in online and take payment online, like any of those things, no need to use that platform. I do know that it does cost a little bit more money, and it takes a little bit more time to get used to. So I have a few clients who use that platform, and it was tricky for me to kind of get started on those platforms when they first came out because just so much information. But okay, so now you're thinking, okay, we've created our landing page. How are we going to get people there? So these are some ways that you want to, or some places that you want to update your link, your domain, I guess. Once you have your landing page created, if you are finding that your page is not searchable, you can the easiest way is probably for you to just Google how to add some SEO into my MailChimp landing page or whatever one that you're using. And it'll give you some simple tips on just how to make it a little bit more searchable. You can kind of just think, where else can I post this link for my landing page? So these are the ones that I came up with. Sometimes people have other places. Like I said, if you use like the Jane booking app, or if you have like a ticket sales site, like if you use Eventbrite or anything like that, going there and updating your domain. Yeah, I think that's kind of the main places. And since we're at it, just because I think that this is very beneficial for most businesses, maybe you're still thinking, like, after this webinar, a landing page is not something that you're capable of, or not something that you have a goal in mind for right now. I use Beaver River Community Futures as my example here. Making sure that your business profile on Google is updated. So everyone should do this. If you have your business, making sure that this is updated. This can also kind of be almost like the pre-step to the landing page, to the website. We all know, we all do it. We're going to Google the business, right? We're going to see if we can find out more about this business and decide if we're going to go there, book there, eat there. So updating your Google business page, never an issue. Always will be helpful. Many small businesses just benefit alone from having an updated profile on Google. So even before a website. So it's kind of like that mini website, business card kind of thing. So yeah, the last thing on the sort of with this webinar that I want to talk about is just having realistic expectations. You might not be instantly flooded with customers. Like, you could launch your landing page, and it will take some time for people to get there. You have to make sure that you're promoting it and that you've put all the steps in place so that people can find it easily, right? Like updating all the domains and stuff. So a reminder that your landing page, it gives you a clear place to send people. So instead of the awkward DMs explaining offers, or all of these different social media posts that you're trying to put it all together and explain to people in one little post, but not make it too long and make it visually interesting, this is giving you one focused destination that explains what you do and who it's for and how to take action, and making everything feel a little bit more structured, a little bit more intentional. So it can this is a good one too, that sometimes we often don't think of, but it can help validate your idea early. So maybe you have something that you're thinking of doing. You can kind of start to see how people react with all the information that you put on the landing page. Do they sign up for this program? Are they clicking? Are they clicking it? Are they ignoring it? What is that like? What are you looking for? I guess, but um, sorry, lost my train of thought. But it helps to validate your idea. So if people aren't signing up for it, maybe you're kind of going back to the drawing board and say, hey, okay, I'm glad I didn't spend so much time putting this program together, doing this big launch. I was just looking for a little bit of feedback. Yeah, so something to kind of think of there. And then lastly, the third one, having a landing page, something more than socials, will make you look more credible and gives you a foundation to grow from. So building that trust and authority. Even having this simple page, this landing page online on your profile, it just shows that you are a real business. You are open, you are running, you are active. And it makes people more likely to take you serious compared to just being on social media. So, yeah, my
Perfect.
final my final takeaway is just that growing online doesn't have to be complicated, and even one simple page can make the difference between being overlooked and being chosen. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully um, you're feeling like you could tackle a landing page. It's not so overwhelming, and that it might work for you, for your business or your event or your organization, whatever it is that you're kind of looking to do.
Thank you, Josie. I think it's such a good idea. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I had done this for a few things that I'm doing instead of a website. And I wish that, just the time
Hmm.
and cost alone. But I think that moving forward for a lot of people, this is the way to go. This is all they need. And I mean, it can
Hmm.
be very long still. There's not
Hmm.
there's not any limits of how
Yeah.
long these landing pages are. You can put as much
Yeah.
info as you want, and I think
And
it's great.
I think we both know, while websites are great and they have they serve their purpose, they are costly. They are thousands of dollars.
Hmm.
And then usually built on a platform that you have to pay for every year. And then if you
Hmm.
need support to be able to change things, if you're not able to use that platform. So this is kind of that in between, like I said, that step one. And I think can be very helpful for small businesses.
I agree. Thank you very much. We will see you back on April the 1st and for our final session. And like I said, I'll email everybody out the link to all of these training sessions through
Yeah.
our YouTube channel. So thanks again, Josie, and everybody else.
Thank you.